Welcome back to Brownlow Books. We're going to do something different today, and maybe keep doing it in the future. I'm going to do books versus movies. So, recently, I both read and watched Happiness for Beginners by Katherine. So, I actually watched the movie first. And then read the book. But I'm talking like immediately after the movie, I have this book, and picked it off my shelf after it had been sitting there for like 3.5 years. So like, good job. Yeah. I feel like most people would not do that. I myself am usually a person who wants to read the book before seeing the movie. There's movies that I want to watch, books I want to read, and I haven't read the books to watch the movie yet. But now I'm like, should I watch the movie to make myself want to read the book faster? What is happening? Anyways, yes. So, off to my side, I do have a list of things that are different. So, like, every once in a while, I might reference that to make sure I'm on the right track. Okay, so, I like that Helen is still prickly in the movie. By the way, I'm going to assume that you've either read the book or seen the movie. And so you know, like, the major plot points and spoilers don't matter here, okay? So, I like that Helen is still prickly. She's prickly in the book, she's prickly in the movie, in a way that is, like, real and honest and not, like, I'm exaggerated to be a bitch, and she's not, I'm a sweet little sugar-coated thing. It feels real, like, someone who's a year out of the divorce with the husband still calling them all the time, just being like, who's, had the family life that she's had. It feels real. I really enjoy that. So, speaking of the family life, I did notice some discrepancies between the book and the movie. I need my notes for this. So, they changed the birth times. So, in the book, Duncan is born after his brother Nathan dies. But in the movie, Duncan is born before Nathan dies, when the kids are 6. Like when Helen and Nathan are like 6, 7. But in the movie they're like, or in the book they're 9, 10. Which I feel like makes a difference. I don't know, I'm not sure, to be honest, if I felt like it made a difference or not. I just remember reading the book and going, 10? In the movie she said they were like 6 or 7. When Nathan died, which is like, is that more traumatic on the parents? I wouldn't know. Definitely be more traumatic on the sibling, I feel like. Slightly older because they were like the best of friends. So I feel like that maybe made a difference because like a big thing about Duncan is that like he didn't know his brother. And like obviously if he was born not long before Nathan died, he still kind of wouldn't have memories of his brother. But yeah, I don't know. It was a point that stuck out to me that I went, why? But never really figured out why. So there's that. I like that they made Helen and Jake older. If you saw my review for the book, they are 32 and 22. Her being 32, him being 22. And, I got a bit of the ick. But in the movie, she's like 45 and he's 35, which is less icky to me. Just the early 20s, like, you're not an adult. You think you are? You are not. I guarantee you're not. So I like that took away some of the ick for me on that. It also kind of, I feel like makes the stakes a little bit higher in their relationship. Because, like, when he's 22, he's just, like, deferred his acceptance to medical school and is working as, like, an EMT. But, in the movie, he is actually a doctor who is taking a break. But, like, he's going blind. So, it just feels like his higher stakes of them being slightly older because that disease is progressive and regenerate, like, starts early, but like 22 just makes it feel like, I don't know, something just not right about it. So I do enjoy that change was made. Less of the ick. I don't mind that they changed locations. In the book, it takes place in Wyoming, like deep woods, mountainous backcountry, like blizzards in the middle of summer kind of thing. But in the movie, it's the Appalachian Trail, like a section of the Appalachian Trail, not the whole Appalachian Trail, a section for like a week or something. So yeah, they made it shorter. Don't love that. But yeah, they're like, Wyoming is so deadly, and I'm like, so is the Appalachian Trail, so I am not angry, and you can ask Bill Bryson all about it. So I did like that. The beginning of the book has them together going to the same place. Longer drive, obviously. But she doesn't notice he's there in the movie until, like, they're introducing themselves. So I kind of thought that was interesting. It gets rid of, like, a steamy scene up front. And honestly, I think it works better without that scene up front. I don't know. When I was reading the book, I was kind of like, oh, we're going right into it. Okay. But, like, yeah, didn't need it. Again, at the end, same kind of thing. The end is different than the end of the movie. I like the ending in the movie better. It's a little less cheesy. It feels cheesy in the book, but again, if I'd read the book first, maybe I wouldn't feel that way. So I don't know about that. The first half of the trail in the book and the movie are pretty much the same. Like, almost word for word. With an exception that I'll get to in a second. But the second half of the trail is vastly different from the book to the movie. So that's, yeah. The biggest difference in the trail part being the people. In the book, she's got a bunch of, like, sorority girls and, like, you know, college bros hanging around just being kind of horrible. But, like, in the movie, they changed it. They reduced the amount of people that are on the trip. They gave them each, like, a distinct personality. You know, they've diversified. So yeah, like, it's a much better mix of the kind of people on the trail in the movie than in the book. And, like, they each have their own sort of character development within it as well, which you get absolutely none of in the book. Like, nobody but Helen and Jake show any kind of development whatsoever. So it was nice to have that difference. It added a little bit, gave it a little bit more depth. I enjoyed that. Thing that drove me nuts about the movie. A different outfit every day. You are on a fucking trail in a backpack. You do not have 5 different sweaters and 12 pairs of pants. I'm sorry, you do not. You are wearing the same thing day in, day out. You'll have a change of clothes to get into at night. You will change back into your trail clothes in the morning, and that's pretty much it. You'll have a few layers. It is not going to be... Just know. That being said, I did fall in love with one of Helen's sweaters. Sweaters. It's fuzzy. It's when they're in, what do they call it? Painted Valley? And I was just like, love that sweater. I'm gonna go find it. Yeah, it doesn't come in my size. What a fucking shocker. So, there's a thing that's not in the movie, and it's a good thing that it's not in the movie, and that is the dog pickle. If you read the book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You cannot put that on screen. People will not watch it. I did notice a reference earlier in the movie to the dog and what happened. And, like, if you know the book, then you kind of know what happened to the dog. It's sort of referenced in the movie. But if you don't, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, there was a dog that she had and he lived for 10 years. Like, yeah. But yeah, you can't put that on screen and get people behind you. You just can't. So, I enjoyed the movie, obviously, enough to read the book. Had I watched the movie, had I read the book first, yes, I probably would have. But, you know, just the timing that it worked out, I ended up seeing the movie first. It is what it is. But yes, absolutely recommend the movie. I mean, it's a lot easier to give an hour and a half of your life to a movie than it is to give, you know, a couple hours to a book. So, like, fine. But, yeah. Which should I prefer? Probably the movie. I think I liked the movie better than I liked the book. I feel ashamed. It was just, there was some cheese and a bit of cringe in the book that I didn't love, right? And I don't know the actor's name. Mateo from Superstore is in the movie, and I love him, so, like, I didn't expect him to be there, and then I started watching it, and I was like, wait, Mateo! Delightful! So yes, I enjoyed the movie a lot. It had its moments. It was good. I can't think of a single time in the movie where I was just like, I wish they hadn't done that. Yeah, no. And I watched it more than once already. Like, I watched it once for 3 days in a row. I was like, I watched it, started reading the book. Watched it, kept reading the book. Watched it, kept reading the book. Not gonna lie. So yeah, I enjoy the movie a lot. I don't regret having read the book, but I think I prefer the movie. So yeah, I don't think I've done book versus movie before. I did talk about Moxie after the movie came out. But yeah, if this is a thing you would like to see me do, I will start watching more book-based movies. Just let me know. So thanks for hanging out. I will see you around next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.